please like and subscribe.
Okay, so this week there actually is a lot of good things happening behind the scenes. So we always have a good, we always have a bad, we always have an ugly. Up front, transparent, there is no ugly this week. I'm not going to go with an ugly. We're talking about positivity like we were and trying to spread that. This week, we're going to skip the ugly because I really honestly didn't think anything fit into that category, anyways. And I don't want this to ever turn into forcing something just for the sake of filling one of the lines on it. So the good, this one's going to be a little bit longer because there's more involved, and you guys jump right in here whenever we start talking about it. But so BBTF staking is live. It seemed like it went off without a hitch. Holly, I saw that you posted and you got some rewards. Can you speak on that for just a second? I'll put you on the spot.
Yeah, so I don't hold a whole bunch of it. And a lot of my BBTF is in different wallets. But consistently, the rewards that I got, I am happy with, to be honest. I mean, I'm not 100% sure if these are like backlogged, rewards that haven't been sent out in the past and we're getting them all now, or if it's just strictly off of like what's being staked. I'm unsure of that right now, so I don't. But I am happy with each bag and the rewards I got when you put it all together. It's pretty impressive. So
yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't see anybody have any negative feedback or anything like that.
Super simple to use that platform. I mean, like they said, they want, grandma to do it. Grandma can do it. It's really that simple and it's super fast. Love it. Hands down, awesome.
Which we've talked about in the past is super important too, that everyone's got to be able to use it or it will never get to the level that it needs to get to. So that's one of the things. Our friends over at Diamond Swap, they've got their third project that's launched on their exchange. They, in their first week, they had over $250,000 in their exchange, which it doesn't seem like a huge number, except for the fact that you have to remember it is brand new and no one's ever heard of it before. So it's actually a pretty good volume. I think it put them at number 8 on the platform that they're using. And so it seems like things are moving in the right directions for them. And I'm not going to jump into all the details of it because we have talked about what used to be Crow Swap is now Diamond Swap. We've talked about them for a long, long time and what they had going on. But that had to be listed in the good this week because I do believe there's good things coming from that sooner than later. So also last week, Nobility, they hit our good spot and they got Rio launched and it seems to be going very, very well. I've seen nothing but good reviews on it. I actually was going to try to get in there and play around with it, and this week did not allow that. I'm hoping by next week I'll be able to, but sometimes real life just gets in the way and if you're not able to fit we were talking off camera before we started filming, you can't always fit everything in that you're trying to get fitted into. And that was one of the things this week that just didn't happen. But that is a project that we've had our eye on since day one, something that we have been following, something I've been excited about, and I do want to clarify something. Last week I said they kind of went dark. And I didn't catch a lot of flack about that, but I didn't mean that like they shut off trading. I just meant on the social media aspect of it.
Yes.
Like we didn't hear a whole bunch from them. There wasn't a lot coming out. And on that aspect they did. I was corrected about what their market cap was on social media and stuff. I said, no, that's not what I meant. So just to clarify that, I wasn't trying to be negative by any means. I just meant they were working in the background and that they were actually releasing things and producing things.
So I want to touch on this just for a quick second, and I want to say how amazing that team is. Not only, I try to support as much as I can and retweet people's stuff, different projects and stuff to get them out there. And I had retweeted something from Nobility, and I had two of their team members actually be like, you have no idea, Holly, how much it means that you retweeted our stuff. And I was like, what? Like that's not even a thing. But another thing that really was amazing was, Rick. He's the one that like clipped our good and played it. And in there I said, I sold mine. I wish I hadn't, and I kind of touched on that a little bit about me selling too early and all that. And instead of getting attacked by them for selling, the CEO actually said, you know what, Holly, it happens to the best of us. And it was like no bad blood, no nothing. And that to me is a big deal because you get some projects, you say, oh, I sold, and you messed up, but you have people attacking you. Yeah. And for it to actually come from the CEO saying, you know what, it happens to all of us, because it does. That was just so awesome to me. It was just like a reassurance that, okay, it's okay to sell your bag if you need to, or, whatever the case may be. As long as you don't go out and FUD it afterwards, they don't, it's no bad blood. So I just really wanted to highlight that, especially.
You're all right, Holly, because I did see that. And as soon as I saw it, you post it, because you're one of the few people that we have, or at least I have, where it tells me every time you post something. I thought, uh-oh, here we go. I'm going to have to put on my big brother hat and defend my sister. And you're right. The CEO actually came out and said, hey, it's no big deal. It happens to the best of us. And there were other people kind of in the same, oh, I remember you back in the day, welcome back, and all this sort of stuff. And I thought that was really cool. Like, that was, you don't see that in a lot of communities. And you're right. So after that podcast, I'm going to use this opportunity to kind of promote a future show. They reached out and they said, we would love to come on your show. And I actually don't have the date in front of me, but in 2 weeks,
yes,
they'll be here.
Yep.
Which
the 7th.
Is the 7th. There you go. I knew it was the first week of September. I can't remember what day, but they're going to be on the show, and they reached out to us. And also have to say congratulations. There was a new member born into the Nobility team as they had a baby, and it's just exciting all the way around. And I just get the feeling we haven't got a chance to really know them yet. I'm hoping that on the 7th we will, but I just get the feeling that we're rooting for good people in this situation. And I love to root for good people. So that they had to be listed on that. And then really one last one that we're going to get onto before we do quickly the bad, and like I said, we're going to skip the ugly, is Ignite the Chain. Right? So they had a lot of activity this week, and we're going to get into that interview in a second. But I would be foolish to not at least mention them in the good, because there's a lot of stuff coming out on that. And even though I didn't get to watch the AMA from last night, I have been looking at their white papers and different things like that. And I'm pretty excited about what they got going on. That somehow this sort of slipped under my radar. And so I'm excited about the interview that's coming up here in just a couple minutes.
Me too.
So the bad, and I'm going to preface this by saying we kind of had this same conversation last week, and it's exits from teams, and in this case, another exit from safemoon.
Yes.
I'm hoping that yes, and in most people's eyes, it's bad that another team member is stepping down, but at the same time, we're hoping there's good that comes out of this. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. But it does to some people, and I understand where this is coming from. It does seem to some people that there's a mass exodus. I think we just, at this point, you got to wait and see. We have no information on it. We don't, none of the four of us have any inside information on it. But at the same time, we're just going to have to be patient, because one, we don't really have a choice, right? I mean, we just have to. But two, we're not going to get in the business of fudding something because it could seem bad, Go ahead, Holly.
The thing is with Gandalf leaving safemoon, number one, he never clarified whether he left on his own or if safemoon, let him go. Another thing to take into consideration is the fact that he was part of the education team. They also have others that are still with the education team. We are in a bear market, and sometimes you have to let some go. That is just the name of the game. So for anybody to be worried about, one person leaving, I would strongly suggest not to. Again, it happens all the time in almost every business, especially when you're in a market like ours that isn't bringing a whole lot of volume. Money's not coming in like it was back 2 years ago, whatever. But it doesn't mean that it's it means SafeMoon's going under. It just means they had to let go, or he left on his own. I don't think that's the case, honestly. I really don't. Or if it is, he might have found another job. Good grief. We don't know. So jumping to conclusions on things when you actually don't know, it's not the best route ever.
Yeah, and something we try to never do too. And also, I did see you put a poll out wanting to know how people learn better. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
It makes me wonder if he's not going to come out with his own sort of platform, or whether it be a podcast or something anyway. So it very well could have been that he decided to leave so he could pursue something different. I don't know.
It doesn't always have to be bad. I feel like I said that the last time. It doesn't always mean it's a bad, exit. So it doesn't make me feel any type of way. Gandalf, he clearly said he's going to be around in the community and all that good stuff. So it's not like he's gone.
And he has been too. And he already has been. So you're right. And so I didn't feel like that was in the good. Like I said, I preface it, we put it in the bad, but it doesn't necessarily have to stay there. Let's just put it that way. So, but we are not going to be the people that are going to speculate on that and why. But I also think it's a little funny that people would have instantly jumped to the conclusion that it's bad for him and it's bad for SafeMoon. It might end up being good for both of them for whatever reason. We don't have enough information. So we're just going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
So with that, we're done with the good, the bad, the ugly. No ugly this week.
I'm Caleb. Please like and subscribe.